Speech. You know, the ones politicians give? Yeah, that one. I was asked to give a speech in front of my whole school. The day before speech competition, I was clueless about it. In the school, homeroom teacher came and started talking about this speech competition in school and how it will be very helpful in our personality development. He chose me, my friend, and some girl from our school to participate in this competition. I refused to participate as soon as I heard my name. In my 7 years of school, I have never given a speech ever. So he wanted me to experience it. I was keen on not participating, but he forced me to do so. So I had no choice but to do it. I don't really remember the topics of this competition, but I know that I wasn't the one who wrote this speech. My teacher had this book in his hand, which was about some mythical story of a festival that we celebrate. Then he opens the book and shows some pages that I need to write down and then remember for the speech. I take the book and read through those pages, and I'm not gonna lie, even though it was written in my mother tongue, I could not understand the context of the story. The book was using mostly ancient language that I'm very weak in, and I had to memorize this thing that I don't understand in a day for speech competition tomorrow. I asked my teacher if I can choose my own story that I can comprehend, but he said no, that he had worked for hours finding this prize winning story and I must memorize it. So I had no choice again. I wrote down the story on paper for me to easily remember it. And so, even though I didn't want to do it, I started to memorize this story in the recess time, and even at home, I spent quite some time on it. It was competition day. I felt like I was ready, but my heart wasn't. It was racing at 100 kilometers per hour, and I was slightly shaking. I had no confidence in me, the fear was taking over. I was not comfortable at all going on stage for the first time. I'm sure it happens to everyone, but this felt like hell, like I'm burning. To be fair, I was burning in the sun while waiting for my turn and listening to others. Finally, it was my turn. I tried to put up a brave smile on my face and walk to the stage. When I stopped, I could not move. I froze in my place, everyone was looking at me. I felt like running for my life, but I knew that I can't. I stayed there and pushed myself to start speaking. I said my name, standard, and subject for my speech. And fortunately, I didn't forget my speech. At least that's what I felt like until I reached like half of the page. I couldn't really remember the speech, but I just couldn't stop speaking. So, from what I was able to understand from the story, I kept talking about it from what I can muster on the spot. I'm sure I talked about some bullshit, but at least I was able to improvise. I knew my voice was shaking while talking, and I was breathing very heavily, that I can hear myself breathing through speakers. I knew that I fed up badly, but this was the first time, so I somehow managed to finish my speech. When I walked down, I saw my teacher give me a look of disappointment, but I was relieved. I had done the impossible for me. I was kind of proud of myself, but I knew that I wasn't going to do this ever again. Next, it was my friend's turn, and he crushed everyone with his speech and won the competition. And it wasn't like he was a regular at this. This was his first time too. When it was all over, I thought my teacher would scold me, but we never talked about this day ever again. I'm kinda happy that we didn't. Well, I did learn something from this whole nightmare, that I'm not good at socializing, but it was surely an experience to remember. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. If you learned something, leave a like. If you loved the video, subscribe. Tell us your similar nightmares in the comments below.